have a seat. It's very nice to meet you. So, have you been debriefed as to what is going to happen today? No need to be so nervous. You see, all that's going to happen today is I'm going to ask you a few personal questions. And if you can, I'd like you to answer as honestly as you can. Really. It'll be very relaxed. It won't take too much of your time. As soon as I'm done with all the questions, you can go and continue on with your day. Alright. Are you ready to begin? Okay. As I said, please answer as honestly as you can. And we will go ahead and get started. Okay, first question. What is your full name? And how do you spell that? Okay. When is your date of birth? Including the year? Okay. What is your zodiac sign? You know, Capricorn, Virgo, Cancer. Do you know what your zodiac sign is? Ah, perfect. And what was your horoscope for today? Interesting. Continue, please. Interesting. What are your parents' middle names? What did you eat for your previous meal? Sounds delicious. I'll have to make that this week. Who is your favorite cartoon character? Alright, what did you want to be when you were younger? And what do you want to be now? I see. Well, it's never too late to do what your heart truly desires. I think if you work hard, it's possible. Okay, question number 10. We're already a quarter of the way there. What is your favorite school subject? Or if you're no longer in school, what was your favorite school subject? I see. And what is your favorite meal? Sounds delicious as well. You have quite the culinary tastes. Do you prefer breakfast, lunch, or dinner? Breakfast, lunch, or dinner? is that? I see. What is your favorite social media platform? Instagram, Facebook, even YouTube? Any of those that you prefer? Or perhaps you don't prefer any of them? That's also an answer. A good answer is none of them. I see. How long have you been listening to ASMR? And do you have a favorite artist? If you have multiple, feel free to name them all. That's a good one. Are you a fan of pumpkin spice? What is your favorite season? I see. I like that one too. Do you prefer Halloween or Christmas? And if you prefer neither, what is your favorite holiday? I see. Often we question people who don't celebrate any of those holidays, so it's important to make sure that they can talk about the ones that they do celebrate. Did you ever have an imaginary friend when you were a kid? What was their name? Can you describe them for me? What did they look like to you in your imagination? I see. Interesting. You must have had a very active imagination when you were a kid. What was the best Halloween costume you've ever seen? It can be either one you've seen online, or at a party, or perhaps one that you've made yourself that you're very proud of. Was it very detailed, or was it based off of something that you really like a TV show or a book? I see. Interesting. Alright, if you could do one thing and not have to worry about laws or consequences, what would you do? It's okay. Just to remind you, these surveys are anonymous, so you are free to be as honest as you want. We're not going to hold this information against you. I see. I see. Is this something that you have contemplated before? Mm-hmm. Okay, we are now halfway there. Next question. If you could change something about yourself, not counting physically, more changing yourself personality-wise, what would it be? Mm-hmm. We seem to get that answer quite often here. Very interesting. What was the last movie you saw? Mm-hmm. And what did you think about it? Mm-hmm. Go on. I see. Never thought about it like that. If you were told you had 1 week to live, what would you do? Mm-hmm. It's very noble of you. If you could eat one food for the rest of your life, what would it be? By that I mean, it could be a food as in a meal, a specific type of meal, or it could be a food as in a single ingredient, perhaps a single vegetable or something like that you could repurpose in many ways. Mm-hmm. If you could go back in time to any point in your life, where would you go and what would you do? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I see. What kind of person do you want to be in 5 years? Whether it could be about where you want your career to go, what kind of habits you want to have adopted by then, or maybe personal goals that you have had in mind that you hope would be accomplished at that point. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Go on. Would you rather take intelligence for looks or looks for intelligence? And why is that? Interesting insight. Which author would you want to write your biography? Why is that? Is it something about their writing style or perhaps you like the things they write about, and maybe they would take your life and give a little spin using their expertise. I see. What is your favorite family tradition? Mm-hmm. What is the most unusual thing you've eaten? And how did that taste? Did you like it? Mm-hmm. Would you say you learn best visually, orally, as in you learn best when something is spoken to you, or practically, as in you learn best when you're able to learn through your hands? And if you find that multiple or all three of those options are how you learn, that's completely normal. You're free to list one, two, or all of them. If you were ruler of your own country, what would be the first law you would introduce? Mm-hmm. Go on. What three things do you think of most each day? Every day we have hundreds, even thousands of thoughts going through our heads, but very often there are those few that seem to persist in our minds. What are those thoughts for you? Mm-hmm. I see. If you had a warning label, what would yours say? Mm-hmm. Now, this next question is similar to a previous one, but it is more general. It goes outside of yourself. If you could revisit any past event, big or small, that is not related to you, that is not a part of your life, what would it be? Say, for example, you wanted to go to a concert that was played by a band that no longer exists or was during the peak of their hype. Or maybe there was a certain event that you wanted to see for yourself. Or perhaps you wanted to go somewhere in order to fix something or accomplish something. What would that be? Mm-hmm. What is your biggest regret? Please be as honest as you can be. And has this regret changed the way you live today? As in, did you want to ensure that this never happened again, so you changed the way you lived your life to ensure that that would not happen again? Okay. Thank you for your honesty. This next question is a little related to the previous one. What is one thing that you will never do again? If it is the same answer as the previous question, feel free to simply repeat yourself. What is your favorite trait about the person you care most for? It can be your parent, a sibling, a friend, a coworker, anyone in your life that you care about. What's a trait of theirs that you really admire? Mm-hmm. Do you collect anything? What do you like about that? And if you don't collect anything, have you ever considered starting a collection? And if so, what would that thing be? Okay, and for our final question, what number am I thinking of? That is correct. And that is the end of our personal questions survey. I want to thank you again ever so much for taking your time to come here and answering questions for us. I hope that you enjoyed your time with us, and as I said at the beginning, since it's the end, you are free to get your stuff and be on your way. You should receive compensation for your time within the next few days. If you have already provided bank details for us, that compensation will be wired directly to your bank account. Otherwise, we'll be sending a check in the mail. In that case, it will take a little bit longer to arrive, but it shouldn't take any more than 2 weeks for that check to arrive. Thank you very much for coming in, and we hope you have a good rest of your day.